Bunga bunga. I bet you I'm the only one the chat can hear right now, which is quite funny. Just sorting out headphone. You spelled me wrong. Bro's giving me an F star. Speak Earth. Oh, I can't hear you. You're still, I don't know. You're screwed, basically. Try it without headphones. Unless he needs them. Dude, no one can hear you. No one can hear you. Comments. Yeah, your mic is screwed. Hold up. Let me translate that to you. Mic is screwed. Sam, we can't hear you. There we go. I don't know if that's the case in chat. Right, we do have one person. Mango de Bean. Could you hear Sam? Oh no, he's gone. Never mind. Hello, my name's Midland Terry. Welcome to my stream on Heritage Studios. I'm a special guest because I normally am. I'm his only friend. Today I'm going to be answering your questions on Sam's series, which he hasn't started yet, nor has he even done yet, which is kind of sad. But yeah. I'll answer questions on that because I know I know nothing. Oops, he can't hear it. Big sad. Oh well. I think the chat is like so. Oh, you're his friend too. Oh well. That sucks, right? So I think the chat is like 30 seconds, 30 minutes behind. Not 30 minutes, 30 seconds behind. So I do apologize for if either of us, when Sam comes back, if he commits reading something beforehand. So yeah, like for example, your alright lol thing has just come up now, which is like 30 seconds after whatever you meant it to be. I think. No, I think it's just with streaming on a different platform to YouTube itself is a bit off. Right. Where do we even begin? Trains. Who likes trains? Put your hands up if you like trains. Because boy, I like trains. Oh my god. No. Speak up. I can't hear you. Speak again. I heard you and then I couldn't hear you. Well, I heard something. I hear you, but you're very quiet.
Yeah, I've turned the mic volume up to 200.
Can it go higher?
Not really.
Oof.
Because literally my sound system is completely screwed.
All right.
Yeah, my soundbar when last year hasn't come back.
Alakabim, alakabam. Sending you off this big boom thing, right? Well, at least we can hear you now.
Yeah.
It's better than it was. Oh, fuck.
Today we'll be talking about locomotives on the market and what will be coming. We're going to also do a little bit of layout. We're going to do a little bit of painting as well. as well as lore writing. So enjoy the show, people.
The one person in the comments will thoroughly enjoy this.
Yeah. So where should we start off?
I think we should start off with the fact that you've completely butchered the livery on your E2.
Oh yeah, I primed it.
Yeah, so for context though, he's completely butchered the fucking. What did you do? What are you turning it into?
Oh, that's a project for another day.
It's going to be Thomas the Train.
Well, this was kind of just brought as just spares. Most of my locomotives are spares just for me to start practicing.
Oh my god, Joe is in the chat.
Yes, Joe is in the chat. Hello, Joe.
I could say something, but I'm not going to say it because he gets pissed every time I do.
Oh. Well, then we also have the models that we don't touch.
Fucking Bubba Ruston.
Yeah, and then we also have my mighty minifigure. Wait,
There's like the focus
figure
on
that
that.
I got from Wally.
Oh my god. Guys, right there.
Joe, shut the fuck up.
Joe, that happened once. That happened once.
Okay, no, it happened a bit more than once.
It happened twice. I'm going to twice. We're stopping there. That happened twice because of outside parties getting involved with bullshit. So it wasn't our fault.
Fuck that universe.
Yeah, no, that was Smidge's fault. I'm blaming that on Smidge.
100%.
Bollocks.
Drama. Yeah, we don't talk about that. And then
We don't talk about drama. No.
The last stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. That is just in the past now.
Oh yeah, Sam.
What?
Remember our 2021 thing that we were going to do? Volunteer Italicum.
Yes, I've still got the jar for that, funny enough, and it hasn't raised.
I may or may have not, possibly ever so slightly, managed to get myself secured for a work experience week at TR.
Nice.
I'll be doing guarding, working at the Narrow Gauge Railway Museum, booking clerk, and station master.
Nice.
The guarding I'm really excited for.
We haven't actually got round to doing the work experience at schools.
Yeah, you guys don't do it at North because you're special. How would I go about removing the motor from an old apple? Terror.
Rip it out. That's what I say, because that's what I did with all of my old locomotives. But obviously, don't do that unless you want to completely butcher the locomotive.
Bulls. I clicked the reload button on my phone. Right, so basically, when you're deassembling a Terrier, what you have to do is you have to look for the screws once you've got the shell off. You have to look for the screws that are on top, so not on the bottom of the chassis, but on the top where the motor is.
Listen to the Terrier man. I don't know anything about removing this.
I only know how to remove two types of Terriers, and they're the new tooling Dapol ones and the old tooling Dapol ones. I haven't taken apart a Hornby Terrier yet. Well, the newer Hornby Terriers. I need to because my BR Stepney from way back when is like fucked. I need to like get rust prevention on it or something. The buffers are starting to rust. I have broken 650 Whitechapel.
Joe, you do have the link. I've literally I sent it to you, what, 10 minutes ago? No, it's been longer than 10 minutes.
So, like the real thing, Joe, your model's technically accurate to the real thing now. Because the real thing is broken, isn't it not? The real thing's been broken for a few decades.
Oh yes, I managed to pick myself up another one of the many Tamiya weathering packs, which is D. So I've got oil stain, burnt red, and burnt blue. So we might be trying to paint a blue locomotive today, and then blue rust it. Well, no, blue burn it. We also have some gunmetal, so I might be applying that to this chap, who, if you're in the Discord server, you would know as Dan, and he is. I've got some lore about him, and I'll explain that to you in about half hour, because I think that's when we'll get onto the model railwaying. Right. So, anything you want me to explain about the lore? Because there's a lot of stuff that works behind the scenes and stuff that I can get shamed for, which I can expose here. So, any questions? Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot that that happens. I do need to take that blur off. Give me 2 minutes. So will virtual background none. There we go. Hopefully it won't be too terrifying now, Joe. Baby Joe. Yeah, there's the comment on which. Because all the day. I think we all know that.
Oh yeah, we all know that. Noel's buggered, Poplar's buggered, Sutton's buggered,
Stepney's buggered.
Stepney's buggered, Fenchurch is fine.
Slightly buggered.
No, Fenchurch is fine. Martello's buggered. All of them are buggered. Newport's withdrawn this year for overhaul.
Yeah.
All of them are basically buggered. Wadden's buggered, considering they want to get rid of her in Canada.
Just ship her back to England. All right, Joe. Yes. So, literally, any questions? Put them in chat.
That's a good thing. We should blow up the line and see what happens.
Yes, let's blow up the Bluebell.
No, let's not do that. They're all right now. They're better than they were.
Okay.
Could
what
be the
railway's
East
doing really terrible?
Could be the East Lank and being stuck up that they were the ones to have the facilities to overhaul Flying Scotsman. They're quite stuck up.
Exactly. We could also probably bomb any northern line.
Huh?
We could probably bomb any northern line.
Anything that's LNER or LMS, just get rid of it.
Yep. Then we've just also got to get rid of the...
No, actually, don't get rid of the Bowness and Kinneil. Bowness and Kinneil can stay. That's quite nice. I like the Bowness and Kinneil.
We could get rid of the southern region because no one cares about the southern locos.
Hey! How about
apart from specials?
Cough. No, the Great Western and the Southern divide very much close together compared to the other ones. So I think if we kept those two in operation, we made it so it's the southern, the southeast of England railway.
And then Great Western takes the rest. We have a winning company here. Wait.
Yeah, and it's only two companies. The whole of Britain. Who needs a fucking LMS and the LNER? They're both bollocks.
Exactly. The only thing they did was achieve speed, which we also did with the Great Western.
Yeah, we had.
And the Southern basically got nowhere near 100.
City of Truro is a fine example of the fact that we just did it before Scotsman did. It just wasn't recorded, so no one believed it.
Exactly. Well,
Oh
the
yeah, I
only
went up
time,
the Licky
the only
Incline.
thing we have to go on with that is that we've got literal timetable, and it was the fact that it was early.
Just a casual reminder that the Midland region was the Midland region, which went down the Licky Incline in the 50s, was replaced by the Western region in the late 1950s because
Yeah.
the pannier tanks were said to be better than the LMS Ginties that had replaced the Big Bertha loco. Big Bertha was the only good product to come out of the LMS, and
And Midland region.
even then she was more like drawn up before that. Technically, she
I
was
think
built
it's
of
the best
LMS.
to come out of Bay of Peacock. Was it Bay of Peacock?
No, that you're thinking of DR-1202.
Yes, that's it.
DR-1202, as much as it didn't exist, I feel like it could have existed, just maybe
Mm,
not. Maybe as the Southern's creation rather than a
yeah.
small mini main line.
Mm. I
I think.
feel like it would also play a good part in the Welsh, not the Welsh Highland, the Highland Railway up in Scotland.
Oh yeah, it feels like a Highlanders line.
Yeah, because if you had a tender which resembled Highland Railway, then it's a Highland engine,
Yeah, fair enough.
which is very nice.
To be fair though, DR-1202 only lasted about a decade before being withdrawn.
Yeah, whereas Big Bertha was still going strong.
Big Bertha lasted about 4 or 5 decades before being scrapped, and
Mm,
even then, there were surviving pieces of Big Bertha left.
yes,
Just down the road from us as well.
really.
In the Norton Museum, her whistle and um, plates have been saved.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were stolen. They were stolen from Derby Works, as they should. Steal anything
Good.
of the LMS.
I
Never,
feel like
never
I feel
borrow
like the
things.
whole locomotive should have just been, what was it, stolen
Well, no,
or
it would have, but
rightfully
they had taken the
reclaimed by the
boiler.
town of
The boiler
Bromsgrove?
was off the loco when they found it.
Mm.
They just rolled
Just
the
steal
chassis
everything
down.
else.
Just roll the chassis down. No, I don't. I think
Yeah,
when you get to Derby Works back in the 50s, they took the boiler out and they got rid of the tender and put it on another loco.
yeah.
Or they
Just take
modded.
this.
If it was a unique tender, they modded it to not standard, and then they
Mm,
sent it off on another loco that needed it. The boiler would then be used for something stationary, and they would sell off all the other parts for scrap.
mm. Or they could have just got this guy and rescued him.
Funnily enough, Big Bertha was withdrawn, displayed at Derby, and then cut up.
Yeah,
She was
I
spruced
feel
up
like
for it as
if
well.
I feel like if the town of Bromsgrove actually put some money into preserving Big Bertha, then we would still, well, they'd still get some some tourism. Even if it was on static display, still would be nice to have them in.
Can you still hear me?
You've literally just
What the fuck? Hold up.
what?
Wait. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I've just
All right.
removed the other you.
Good. Right. I fucking pressed done on Discord by accident because I mindlessly do that, and it made me log in again. So yeah, there's two of me now. Let's go. Twins.
Right, I'm just gonna kick you from the studio then.
Oh yeah, I got tones on the incline today.
Did you?
Yeah, we
I
went.
get that a lot.
I went with a friend, and I don't know. We originally just went for a walk around fields. We went to like Blackwell and all that, where the station was in the hospital.
Mm,
And then we just happened to go to like the old willow that we watched Castle go up the incline at,
yeah.
and well, there we go. And she just was interested in getting tones, which was pretty funny.
Was it a shed?
No, there was a shed. There was a shed. There was a Freightliner shed with a coal train or whatever going down, which was a bit annoying. I wanted to see it going up.
Yeah, you'd probably have a one on the back, or it's going to be a double header if it's a coal train going up.
Yeah.
Which I want to go look at, but it's always during hours of school, so I can't go. Yeah, because I've done two live streams, I think, up at Burcott Bridge, which is very nice.
Burcott Bridge. What is that like the? Oh yeah, I know which bridge.
Yeah, the bridge up by you.
Yeah,
That's literally what I call it, Burcott Bridge.
I know it's got a name. It's called Virgo Bridge.
It's close enough. It's from
No,
Burcott and it's a bridge.
no, if you go onto into the field where we watched Dutch's Sutherland guy, they got a sign that says what it's called. It's called Virgo Bridge.
Oh. You learn something new every day.
No, I think to be fair though, there are like 3 individual bridges throughout that area.
Yeah, because you got one that goes off to Alvechurch, one that goes elsewhere.
Yeah.
You've also got the one down the bottom of Pike's Pool.
Exactly. You got quite a lot of stuff. I will say one controversial statement about the Licky Incline is that compared to how it was, the main missing feature on the incline, which I really hope Network Rail decide, you know what, we need a station back here, is the lack of Blackwell Station, which was closed in the 1960s because, well, traffic wasn't as bad, but I'm sure that the rich people that live there, because the houses are fucking massive, will, fund for that.
Yeah.
The cottages are still there.
Yeah.
It'd just be a placement of finding the foundations of the platforms and reinstating them.
Yeah,
and to get a yard back as well.
Yeah, I nearly said a massive spoiler.
Oh dear, don't do that.
Yeah.
I think the only spoiler I'll give out is that in LVR really, because this won't happen. LVR is not happening anymore. Is that there was planned season 1, episode 5, where Swan is like tasked with taking a mainline train. He doesn't know where he's going, but because he worked there in the Western region, on that up and down from Birmingham to Longbridge to Redditch, etc. To Bromsgrove as well. I think it's in Bromsgrove. Never mind, ignore me. He goes up there of the incline from Bromsgrove, and once he gets to the tops, he sees platforms and a station, and he's like, "What the fuck? I thought all of this was demolished." And then he's directed into a bunch of sidings, and what's happened is the Incline Society, which are very heavily involved in preserving history from the Licky Incline based on the LVR. For instance, they're building a new build Big Bertha in this headcanon. Have rebuilt the mainline charters and also for the locals to use. They have one of their locos shedded up there, which is used as a banker, and their plan is to kind of extend the land outwards so they can build more of an extensive yard, running area, etc. I never ended up doing this on Train Sim. I kind of just built a replica of how the station was. As much as I would love to go back and redo this episode, because I feel like it'd be really interesting, I just, having gone there and seen the real place, it's a different atmosphere to how the one I've displayed on Train Simulator. Because not only does the railway go over a road now, the whole area is cut off from the world because it's private property, and there is a forest right next to it. The hospital is no longer there. It's all different, which is a shame. I do have a photo, and I'll send this to you, but I don't know, it might cut off my audio. But I have a photo of Big Bertha going past the hospital just before the top. So let me go find that.
Nice. Yeah, one thing I will spoil, because this has to be really relevant to understand episode 5, that will be coming, I think, October time. Maybe. No, I have an episode somewhat different for October. Maybe November. Basically, there's a runaway, and it goes all the way down from Alvechurch, goes onto the Licky Incline, and then it runs down to Bristol, using the tracks of one of the old railways. that's as much as I will spoil, because I do not want to spoil anything. I want to see genuine shock in this community. But yeah, that's what it will be. And I've just gotten that photo.
I sent 3 photos because I found 3.
Great. Nice.
I found one of a 94's getting rid of Ginties, and I found one of some old Midland engines going up the top.
Jesus, how many?
There's
Crikey.
4 there. There's
Jeez.
2 Ginties and 2 94's at the end of the Midland region's reign on that area.
Hold on. Let me just...
If you want information on the incline, come to me, because I know too much about it.
Yeah. Right.
I know a terrier worked up there. Well, passed through there in preservation years before it was electrified.
Yeah. Yeah. I might get you as a whatchamacallit, as a writer.
I mean, if you need history on geography of the railways near us, then yeah, I can do that.
Yeah. I will send you over a document on Campfire. That's just for what is planned, but you've got to act surprised. You can't like
not spoil it at all for others,
because there is some parts that I think will shock you, and there is some geographical.
Well, let me be shocked, so I'll be right back.
Hold on.
You sent it on Discord.
I think there's some on here that you haven't seen.
You sent
it. Hold on.
Yeah, I can't read it until after the stream, because or otherwise I'd just close the stream.
Oh no. It was supposed to be on Discord. No, that's the cast. Nope. Basically, there was a photo of the map. I think I might have sent to you on WhatsApp instead. Let me just check. It's before then, I think. No, it wasn't. No, I don't think I did send it to you, but it was just the map of the railway.
I think when I look at the map of yours and compared to the universe in which mine is in, it's very different, but it works either way.
Yeah.
It's just that if they were to be combined, it'd just be the question of why they're both really close together.
Yeah.
I think your line is quite incorporated into the Hagley to Bourneheath section, which connected to Bromsgrove as a junction station.
Yeah.
Which of course
actually,
yeah.
Correction, it is actually Hagley to what's it called? Catshill junction off to Bromsgrove. And then because in my canon, from Catshill to Alvechurch there was a line, and there isn't the Redditch branch which comes off the main line now.
All right, yeah. I don't so I think the only rules I like, of course, that's quite creative in the sense. It's like what with universes is what more like people prefer. So I feel like the whole idea of having conjoined universe, it's only if you really work with it, which is why I've kind of separated myself from with universes of the other railways and whatnot. In which I've only implemented the SVR, Abbots Moreton branch, and the Hagley branch. The Hagley connection branch, which is a preserved railway, technically speaking, but as a heritage centre at Hagley rather than anything more
the full
expansive,
line.
rather than the full line, because the
Well, you
light.
could take it up to Bell End.
I could, but at the end of the day, at the end of the day, I feel like the idea of it is that a lot of the stuff, the reason why it closed, it has a reason to close originally. The reason why it's preserved railway. For example, the reason the LVR closed is not only because Portway had a massive landslide outside its in its mine area, so that's the reason why it was cut off from the national network at Wood End, and then with no use, with all the mills being cut off at the other end of the line, there was no reason to have the Blackwell to Portway section, so they just kind of cut that off, which closed 2 stations in the process. And then the LVR completely closed, just as an industrial line, originally speaking, when passenger traffic declined. The idea with the Hagley to Bourne Heath, or wherever I originally mapped it to be,
HABR.
Yeah, HABR. It would have closed because of the river that it follows. The banks would have slid
River
in.
Broom.
The banks on the railway would have slid in, and it would have caused tracks to spin in the air. And BR couldn't be fucked. They just wanted an excuse to close it. Especially with the fact that the colliery closed in the war. The mills had pretty much closed and been turned into residential estates by that point. So BR literally had any excuse to close it.
The only thing that stayed open was the Brell Broughton sawmill.
That was the only bit that stayed open. The rest of it, the line closed in the 1970s. It closed in the 70s. It was used as passenger traffic by request, with a few stations having closed anyways. So Bourne Heath, the section between
such as North Fairfield.
Yeah, the section between Bourne Heath and Bromsgrove was closed in 1961, along with the LVR.
Yeah,
but the LVR reopened 2 years later. So Bourne Heath to Hagley was kept open until 1972, which the only station along that line was Bell End or Bell Horton, one of them. So there was only 3 stations. When passenger traffic finally declined to about one person a day, they just cut the services altogether and closed the line, saving them a shit ton of money. But Preservation Society, instead of having bought all of it, saved a loco from one of the collieries nearby and opened a railway centre at Hagley, next to the main line,
where the football field is.
Where the football field is, and where the sheds are in this universe. So they preserve the sheds, the yards, and they use it as a kind of railway centre, like Didcot, really. It's a lot more expanded, though, because a lot of the stuff that is in real life at Hagley isn't there. So, for example, when Hagley Hall visited, it went from Hagley Hall to the railway centre and stayed there for a few days. And then ended up staying there until the engine house opened, which, kind of helps its situation. From that point on, Abbots Moreton would have closed in 1956, and that would have closed with the rest of the line, because the tunnel that goes under the incline, Abbots Moreton incline, it dipped down a 1 in 42 gradient, which was hard to get up for with the locos they had used on that branch. That all came slipping down a slope, that basically cut off the railway from the national network. I've read this in, from 1980 onwards, they started restoring the branch. They only got to a certain point, which is about a mile away from Blackwell. And then they've recently restarted doing that, but they have to relay most of the line because, well, the track's just kind of been doing shit all for 40 years. Their plan is to extend all the way back to a certain point along the branch, including shuttle services and handing over the branch to the Incline Society upon completion.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Well, of course, we know from the Prelude, which was released what is it? 3 months ago? No, can't be. Yeah, 3 months ago. Crikey, that's gone fast. We know that the line of the BWBR built their own engines. But one thing that wasn't, I don't think, no, it was disclosed that they did borrow and purchase locomotives from other pre-established railways. And one thing I have not decided to explain at the minute, but now I'm choosing to, is that yes, Sodor does exist within the BWBR. There is a lot of controversy that will go around that. There is a lot of different stuff as well. And one thing, I think it's episode 2. Just spoilers. Yeah. When the Sodor and Mainland Railway was closing, well, in their closing years, the BWBR and the Sodor and Mainland Railway did a trade. So the BWBR got 2 locomotives, Stirling single and a box tank, and the S&M got a stallion. So there's 5 stallions in existence, 4 of which work on the BWBR, and 1 is scrap. Well, it was saved by the Northwestern, and then in 1938, I think it was sent off to Africa, and it got sunk along with the 2 Black Fives.
That sucks to be that Titanic moment. I'm gonna have to quickly.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to quickly back out for like 20 minutes or so because I've just been called on to do something, and I also need the loo. So,
That's a good idea.
Thank you for having me. If I don't come back in time for the
Yeah.
end of the stream, then it was been a pleasure. Thank you to everyone who's been watching. I don't know how many of you that is. Probably like 4 or 5. It's a decent amount. I'm the military. Please subscribe to all my socials. Goodbye. Love you all.
And that's my psychopathic friend, the Midland Terrier. So as you just heard, I did some law rambling. We will now be heading on to the paint shop. So if you give me a minute, I will be back with the specialties. Right. There we go. That should be working now. Let me just dual screen it. There we go. Right. So here we have the standard box fan. Well, ish. It's one of the fish fan. Let me just get its alternative. 1 second. There it is. There you go. This is what it is. It's blue. And now it's grey. So now we're going to paint it for some reason. Well, for practice. And yes, that's a handkerchief. Right. What colour? Now, this is a very, very tough decision for me because colour matte means everything. NATO brown? Maybe some NATO brown. NATO brown might look good. Yeah, we'll go with NATO brown. Oh, no, that's empty. We're not going with NATO brown. That one can go then. Tech brown then. Yeah, there's a bit left in that. Right. And we'll use a number 6. Well, that wasn't a good sound. Right. So what I'm basically just doing here is lathering paint on. I'm not an artist. I'm not supposed to be an artist. I'm just supposed to be painting. And you don't have to paint these. You can get them pre-done, but I like to paint them. Well, at least now. Sorry, that's the neighbour's dog. Wait, no. No, that's my dog. Because yes, we like the narrow gauge. Because yes, we like the narrow gauge. And I'll show you how much I like the narrow gauge in a minute. And if you're wondering why I can't see, well, why you can't see what I'm doing, is because I've got the tripod. And it's been a bit of a pain in the behind. No, that can't go down or else I'll lose it. Alter it like that. Might just have to bring this down. And there. You could probably see what I'm doing now. Yeah, painting a train. Well, no one's put any comments in, so I'm going to presume you're all jolly. Or it's not there. Right. I think this might be a Great Western van. If not, it's a Southern van. But it's starting to look like a Great Western van. And yes, before you say it's too thick, no, it's not. Because, like the Midland Terrier said before, you're on a 30-second delay. And these models were primed earlier today and left out in the sun. So they dried really, really fast, which I'm really, really happy about. And I learned something new, which I don't do very often. Spray painting is not the best thing to get in your eyes. I learned that off the box. It's also full of chemicals, which I accidentally inhaled. Not too many, but enough to make me a bit drowsy. Yep, there. I think just this one minor part and we can do it. Oh, it's done. There we go. And that is what I call perfect. So that's that one done. I forgot to get myself a cup of water. How perfect's that? Right, I'll be back in a matter of seconds. Nope, I can't use that cup. I'll use this cup instead. 2 seconds then. Of course. There we go, got myself a cuppa. Too far. Blame it not being screwed on. Torch went a bit wet, A-wire then. There we go. I think after this, well, ish. After this a bit, then we can go on to talk about the model trains on offer. Because there's a few that I do want to talk about. And one we've already brought up today. Now we're going on to this. The beauty that is the slate wagon. If I can get it in shot. Right, so we're not going to be using this anymore because it's odd to do with this. So we're going to go down to, no, that one's too thick. What about a 1? Maybe. No, that one's too old. Right, what's smaller than that then? A 5th. Too small. That's for people. Yeah, too small again. Where's 0? 0 was nice. Right. There we go. That should be it. Right, and this truck we're doing in a nice red. Because why not? If I can get it open. There we go. Because yes, we like that. Right. Just going to grab my tweezers so I can show you how good this looks. Because to me, this is actually looking very good. Oh, never mind. It looks better than just grey. This is just grey. Right. Forgot to take the couplers off. think that's that truck done. That truck will go join the other truck. Right. So we now have a few colours left. Let's still try it. So maybe. No, take brown's already been used. Red brown is terrible. So we might go with wooden deck tan. Maybe. No, that's not geographically correct. Or just generally correct. So we'll be doing some royal light grey. Right. So this has been going on for over an hour now. So that is hopefully that truck done. Right. And into the pot you go. Close you up and put the paint back. Yeah, not going to drink from that. That's the type of stuff you get from Africa. Sorry to all the snowflakes I offended. Oh, not that. Right. So that is the painting done. That is drying. So I think it is time to tell whether this marvellous thing. Well, I say marvellous because I know stuff about it. But you guys obviously don't. So we're going to get that Tamiya Weathering Pack Master. Case D. Get the sponge part and just rub it around a little. Probably rub it along there. Can't really see it, but trust me, it is working. Right, that should be that done. Now to me, that looks brilliant. To you, that doesn't look like anything's been done at all. So now we'll probably get back to where? Yeah, over there. Because that's where we'll be going. So we will be back in about a minute, I'd say. Oh, I think a minute. Minute might do. I'll see you over there. Right. Right.